Virtual Vikings game plan continues. We are analyzing the Chicago Bears this week, and there's no better way to deep dive said Bears than with the analyst via film.
The Chicago Bears have been, let's call it, somewhat active in the free agent market, signing a couple players that we're going to take a look at today. Jimmy Graham, the tight end from Green Bay, a guy that we're pretty familiar with, and Artie Burns, a cornerback from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's dive into the film and take a look and see what these two players can bring to the table for the Chicago Bears. Now, Jimmy Graham at 6'7", about 265 pounds, poses a threat as a wide receiver. Now that height and weight is going to work against him a little bit in the blocking area. In this first situation, you're going to see Jimmy Graham up alone in a two-point stance in the top of your screen. And basically, he's just running an inside route, but he's using and positioning that big body on the safety that's over the top of him, trying to cover him. So Rodgers just takes the snap, gets a three-step. This is a nice red zone type completion that you would expect a quarterback to be able to make. In this case, against the Oakland Raiders, you're going to see Jimmy Graham in the slot. And he has the ability and loves to run these crossing routes. Now, all it takes is for a linebacker to get caught up. You'll see this in a couple of examples. Both these linebackers are sitting right at the sticks, and Jimmy Graham is smart enough and veteran enough to just drift into that big, wide open area underneath the safety and behind the linebacker. And at 6'7", again, he doesn't just run out of bounds. He wants to get some yards after catch. Versatility as a wide receiver. In this case, you're going to see Jimmy Graham on the bottom of your screen motioning himself back into the formation and really just running a simple route to the outside. Checking, got the bootleg, goes out to the flat. Kind of a nondescript play as he catches the ball about 6 or 7 yards downfield. But if you take a look here, you have three defenders that really have him in the triangle. But surprisingly, Jimmy still has some juice. He's able to juke the linebacker, cut it back inside, and then outrun the defensive end to the sideline. So if there's something surprising about a 10-year veteran, he can still move around pretty well. All right, they're going to run the old cheese play. Don't bite the cheese, as Jack Del Rio used to say. So they curl up one tight end underneath, and you'll see both linebackers jump the short route. And as soon as Rodgers notices that, he's able to hit Graham behind them and in between the two deep safeties, wide open. I mean, there's nobody within 20 yards, but look at the run after catch. Again, refusing just to go down, and he tacks on about another 30 yards after the catch. So a big body, good hands, can go up, get the football, and then gives issues to the DBs when they're trying to tackle him deep down the field. Now, as a blocker, one-on-one with the defensive end is keeping contained. Graham is just trying to position block him outside, but obviously can't keep him out. The defensive end's able to come back underneath, and he kind of just twists and falls on the pile. So he's giving it the best effort that he has. But what makes you laugh makes you cry, and that height, weight, and those long arms, they really don't do a lot for you when you're trying to run block. Now, you'll see Jimmy Graham up top as a tight end. Rodgers sees everybody step up. This is an all-out blitz, and you'll see Jimmy Graham just run that flat route to the top of your screen and then turn it up. He runs the little turn-up route in that little window because, again, with the height and the good hands, he's able to come down with it and catch the touchdown. So if you're going to try to blitz the Bears in the red zone, you better have somebody accountable for this guy because he's so big. The second free agent signing by the Chicago Bears is a cornerback from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Artie Burns. Now, Artie Burns, over the last year, didn't play a ton, but when he did play, he got his snaps at corner. We're going to take a look at the Steelers against the Chargers from a year ago. You're going to see Artie Burns up top, rolled up, one-on-one with Keenan Allen. Does a nice job, has a big body, is pretty strong, physical, as you can see him taking him down the field. So he possesses some size, but we're going to take a look at some of the things that he struggles with. And he struggles with a little bit with awareness. You'll see him right here at the bottom of your screen. Now, the Chargers are going to run the tight end right up the seam and kind of get in that gray area between where the linebacker is and where the corner is supposed to squeeze. But the tight end has decent body position, and you'll just see he just can't quite squeeze. The tight end's able to run by him and then, get the reception. So doesn't necessarily recognize quickly and turn his hips and flow and get to the football. Next play, you're going to see him at the top of your screen, and this is going to be an example of just a simple curl route. He gets his hips open. The receiver is underneath him by about 2 or 3 yards. But as he opens his hips and tries to pivot the other way, you see him slip and fall and then be a little bit late on the completion in front of him. So, again, when he's square, when he's jamming at the line of scrimmage, he does a good job. But when you need him to move and flip his hips, I think he just lags a little bit behind what he needs to be. This time you'll see Artie Burns at the bottom of your screen, one-on-one, rolled up, and this is where he actually does a decent job, jams and reroutes the receiver. But you can see he just can't plant his feet and squeeze, which gives the receiver a little bit too much room. So he gets to a decent position or body position, but he just can't get out of that break and get on the wide receiver and challenge the route enough. Another example of this, in the red zone, you're going to see him at the top of your screen, a reverse action with the running back coming across, but his job is going to be to squeeze this tight end up the field. And once again, he's just a little bit late with recognition. He gets his body position, he's too far outside, and just can't quite get there in time. So you see that play after play. I just don't think he has the requisite skill set to play a lot of man-to-man. I think receivers just get too much space. We saw that in the film when he's in transition. He just can't seem to close the deal. So I think one really good signing by the Chicago Bears and one guy that's going to give him depth at the cornerback position.